Okay, YouTubers, riding it back at you again. I think this is the mindset for wealth building tip 49. Like to always start off with three things. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Children don't save for the parents, but parents for the children. And house and wealth comes from the father. So I would like to leave you with this thought today on the mindset. Um, it only take a little. It only takes a little. And what I mean by that is if you trust someone that is teaching you something, you will act if upon a little bit of information. It doesn't take a complete story. It doesn't take a whole lot of information for you to move. You begin to move based on the information that you have. So it don't take a lot of information to move forward if you have trust. And so if someone is teaching you something or telling you something and you're going to move on it, it's not going to take you a whole lot of information. Now, just an analogy, I've taken Wing Chun for a long time, and I'm just one belt away from our sash away from being black belt. But when we first got it started, I trusted my instructor. And so when he gave me a little bit of stuff to work on, just a piece, it wasn't the whole structure of Wing Chun. It was just piece by piece by piece by piece. And if you just look at the piece, you're gonna say, "Man, how's that gonna translate into fighting? How's that gonna translate into this? How's that gonna translate into that?" Without telling me the whole story, telling me, "Okay, we're gonna do this first. We're gonna do this first. We're gonna do that," and got this whole story before you done anything. And if you know the end result, let's just do another analogy. Let's just say you're gonna rebuild a motor. Okay, you know the end result. We're gonna rebuild this motor, but someone who's teaching you that may not sit down and tell you everything that you're going to do before you begin to loosen one bolt to rebuild that motor. You have to trust the person that's telling you something, and it's going to go step by step, just a little bit of information, but you act upon what they're telling you. And as you begin to act on what they're telling you, then you begin to build upon it, and then you begin to see or to realize, okay, now I see what they're talking about. So you have to trust first or realize that the person knows something that you don't know. And so I'm going to act upon what they know and not what I know, because what I know have me where I am today. So whatever you have today, and we're talking about wealth, it is accumulation of what you know today. So if you want to go further or build wealth, you got to take in some information that you don't know, or you have to do something that you don't know right now. So you have to take in the little bit of information as they're telling you step by step by step, just like I'm trying to share with you the mindset that you have to have. I'm building upon something. And so what I'm trying to get you to understand in this video is that when you're building wealth, or the mindset that you got to have, you're not going to see the complete story all the time. You're not going to know the nuts and bolts or in about how that work and how it would. Then after that, you do that. And then after that, you'll never get started with anything if you're going to wait there and, wait on the whole thing to be dug out, especially something that is difficult or something that's going to take time or take multiple things to do in order to get that done. If it's something simple, yeah, we're gonna do this and that, two things, and it's done. Yeah, that we're not talking about that. We're talking about positioning your mind, because wealth creation, you have to have the right mindset. Position yourself, and I said in the early videos, you have to be in the right place at the right time. And the only way that you're going to get there is by having your mind change, going somewhere that you're not right now, meeting people, meeting systems, thinking differently than what you are right now in order to get the information that you need to grow wealth or anything that you're trying to do. Just like that illustration I told you about Wing Chun. I just have to go step by step, sash by sash, experience by experience, fighting by fighting, build upon that confidence to say, okay, now I think I'm learning how to put this thing together to do something. So it doesn't take all that information if you're willing to trust the information that you're getting. A lot of times when people are sharing something, or I may share something with you and say, hey, you need to do this. You need to get on board with that. You want to know the whole story from beginning to end before you do anything. And that's not how it works all the time. You just have to, take it by, okay, again, I put in other videos, risk versus reward. If my risk is low or nothing, then for me to move on, it's not going to cost me anything. It's only when you don't know and it's going to cost you a lot, then you're probably going to need a little bit more information, but you may not have all the information. You may know the end result of what you're trying to achieve, but what you need to do from A to Z to get there, and all the alphabets in the middle, that's going to come over time. That's going to come once you do A, then you're going to do B, then you're going to go C. That's how you begin to obtain knowledge and understanding. So if someone is teaching you something, or someone's showing you something, something you don't know, you got to grow into, then you have to trust them. And so what I'm saying is, if the risk is low, and because you don't have trust and you say, I don't know this person, if the risk is low, then you need to move into action to go to the next thing to see if what they're saying is true, but not to move at all, not to see anything or position yourself being in the right place at the right time because you don't trust or you don't know, and not doing anything. Well, I'm waiting till I get more information. Then you're defeating the purpose. You're never going to get to where you want to go. Again, if look at the risk, if the risk is very low and it's not going to cost you anything, and you say, okay, once I go A and I do B, then more information is going to be provided. If it's going to get me closer to what I want to achieve, it's worth the risk. That little bit of information that I have is enough for me to move on. And we do that in life oftentimes, guys, with doctors and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna take this shot. This is for this, but I want you to do this. I want you to do this for a couple of days. I want to do that, but then we're gonna build upon that. It's just all sorts of things that we react on or move on with a little bit of information, expecting a certain outcome. So it don't take all that information. It only takes a little bit of information, bit by bit by bit, just like the educational system. You just don't jump from kindergarten to college in the next year. No, it's piece by piece, building upon math, English, whatever it is. You're building it up till you get to a certain point where you go to the next level. And achieving things in our life is no different. It doesn't take a whole lot of information. As you grow, as you learn, and information is provided, then you will see that it was worth the trip. Remember, guys, if you got a low risk and people are giving you information and you go check out that information and say, oh wow, that's exactly what they said. And then you go to the next step and say, oh, that's exactly what they said. Now you have more confidence. Now you better trust them because now you're moving on what they're asking you to move on. So guys, you got to have that open mindset. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to have the total story. So if you trust someone that is sharing information with you, then you need to trust them to move on a little bit of information and stop expecting to get the whole story when you're in the first chapter. So again, hit that like button, subscribe. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I told you in another video that if you're going to create wealth, you have to go where the world is going. You have to go where the market is going. And if the market is going in a particular direction, and that's where all the money is going into, and I try to share with y'all that the money is now and technology is AI technology. The experts are saying they're going to be something like the minimum of $16 trillion going to be taking place in the next few months and in years to come, and it's just going to grow. That's just the first benchmark. The question is, are you going to be a consumer of it, or are you going to be able to find yourself getting in the game to get some of that? And that's how you have to move with the trends. And that's what I'm leaving you on this link. Free, low risk. Go ahead and register. Look around. Nobody's going to ask you for any money. And then go to the next step. And then we'll go to the next step. And then the next step. And then we'll hopefully, by the end of this journey, you will accomplish the wealth building that you want. So I'm giving you two things. I'm giving you an opportunity, and I'm sharing with you the mindset that you got to have to create wealth. Okay, guys, until the next time, take care.